יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 יעלו שדי וכל אשר בו יעלו שדי איי 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 אז ירננו כל הצייר אז ירננו כל הצייר אז ירננו כל הצייר
blessed and you are holy. You are blessed and you are praised. You are blessed and you are faithful to the ones who praise your name. You are kind and you are healing. You are cleansing of my soul. You are loved and pure and gracious. You are real and make me whole. Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha. Open my lips for your praises, they'll show through your graces. Open up my lips. Open up my lips. You are wise and you are sparing. You are merciful and clear. You are utter perfection, no more wrong directions. I'm loved and I am here. Adonai Svatai Tiftach Ufi Agi Tehilatecha.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. Hope everybody's doing well out there. Just wanted to hear a little bit of Lucy Greenbaum. Lucy joined us for Shabbat a couple of summers ago as she exited Camp Newman and has grown as an educator and a singer and a songwriter so much since then. We also heard some Rob Aronson. We heard a little Zusha and some Nava Tehillah. So Shabbat Shalom. So wonderful to have you with us and to share this evening with all of you and with Rabbi. Shalom, Rav.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Thanks for being with us, and please greet each other in the chat so that we can build a little sense of community on the Facebook platform there as well. And then also we know that you're with us, which is really nice to know that you're with us. So we're going to start with just a melody to get us in the spirit. You can sing really loud because, you know, nobody will hear you. So it'll be great. Just let it rip there, really. And we'll get into the Shabbat spirit together.
Well, it's the first Friday of October, and although we're not yet together in the sanctuary with our shul band, as we look forward to being every first Friday as we have for 15 years now, speedily and soon, as they say. This is our Rom Nigun, the tune that we generally open up our Shabbat. Da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da da da. Ya da da da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da 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 da. Ya da. Ya da 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 da. Ya yada die 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 die. Yada die 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 die. Yada die. Yada die 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 die. Yada die 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 die. Yada die. Yada die. Yada yada die yada die yada yada die 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 die. La da die 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 die. Yada die 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 yada. La da die 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 die. Yada die 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 die. Die, die, die.
We're going to bless our Shabbat lights and join in the blessing from home. If you have your own candles at home, you can light them along with us as well.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
We take a few moments to reflect on the week that has been, and to go back to last Shabbat, to spend a moment on each day, its challenges, its blessings, and then I'll share my Sidur and we'll join in L'chadodi. We will sing verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, we turn towards the doorways of our homes to symbolically welcome the Shabbat presence into our homes and into our hearts. L'chadodi.
L'chadodi likrat kala B'nei Shabbat nekabela 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 Shamor v'zachor v'dibor echad Nishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad Ushmo echad L'shem u'tiferet v'litchila L'chadodi Likrat kala B'nei Shabbat Nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechuven elcha ki himekor habracha merosh mikadem mesucha so ba'aseh b'makshavat chila lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri kivaurech kumeori uri shiraberi kevod Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela Bohi v'shalom ateret b'hala gam b'simcha uv'tzola toch emunei am skula boi chala lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela.
We continue with Chatzi Kaddish. If you have a book at home, we are on page 26.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah Ve'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei V'chai echon v'yom echon Uv'chai echon bet Yisrael Bagala Uvizman kariv veimeru Amen. Yehei shemei rabba mivarach le'olam ulal mei almaya yitbarach ve'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnasei V'yitadar, v'yitaleh, v'yitalal Shemei dekudesha berichu Le'ela min kol birchata V'shirata Tushbechata v'nechemata Da'amiran be'alma V'yimeru Amen.
We rise in body or in spirit for Baruch Hu, our call to prayer.
Oh, am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Oh, am I awake? Am I aware? Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai hamivoram leolam vaed, leolam vaed. Yada dai dai dai, 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 yada dai dai dai.
Last three lines in the Hebrew.
El chai v'kayam, tamilim l'chaleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim.
Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form?
El chai, ve'ahavatecha, atasir mimenu le'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, ohev amo Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
Page 36, Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha, b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha, u'b'chol meodecha. Ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha b'veitecha uv'lechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha Uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, vehayu letotafot bein einecha, uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha, uvisharecha, leman tiskeru, va'asitem et kol mitzvotai, vitem kedoshim, Lelohechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liot lachem lelohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet.
We join in our song of freedom, the song of crossing the sea, the song of new possibilities. mi chamocha.
Mi chamocha, bailim Adonai, mi chamocha, nedar bakodesh nora, tehilot osei feleh. Mi chamocha, bailim Adonai, mi chamocha, nedar bakodesh nora, tehilot osei feleh. Malchutcha ra'uvanecha, Bokeyam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam. Ze Eli anu. Ve'amru Adonai, Yimloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha, bailim Adonai, mi chamocha, nedar bakodesh, norati lot osei feleh. Norati lot osei feleh. Norati lot osei feleh. Emar Kifadar Adonai et Yaakov Ugalo me'ad chazak mimenu Baruch atah Adonai Gal Yisrael.
We ask the Holy One to watch over us, to protect us, to give us a sense of wholeness and a sense of meaning and purpose. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu ya Eloheinu le'shalom. Hashkivenu ya Eloheinu le'shalom. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Hashkivenu ya Eloheinu le'shalom. Hashkivenu ya Eloheinu le'shalom. Hashkivenu ya Eloheinu le'shalom. Ushmor tzetenu vo'enu l'chaim u'shalom ve'ata ve'ad olam. Baruch atah Adonai Haporei sukat shalom aleinu, sukat shalom aleinu, ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
We give thanks for the Shabbat, for the opportunity it gives us to connect with our deepest self, with our people and our community, and with God, Vishamru.
Vishamru b'nei Israel et hashabat, לעשות את השבת, לדורותם ברית עולם, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השביעי שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש, שבת וינפש. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
As we move into our Amidah or Tefillah prayer, I'll invite those who choose to rise, or maybe position yourself a little bit different if we rise in spirit. We'll sing the first few blessings out loud and then have a little silent prayer and a musical offering from Dr. Randy Polovoy.
Ah, na 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 na, Adonai. Ah, na 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 na, Svatai tiftach. Ah, na 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 na, Ufi yagid. Ufi yagid tehilatecha. Ananananana Adonai. Anananana, open up my lips. Anananana, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon. Gomel chasadim tovim, vekoneh hakol, v'zocher hasdei avot ve'imaot, u'mevii geula livnei v'neihem, lema'an shemo ve'ahava, melech ozer u'moshiach u'magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיי הכל אתה רב להושיע, משיב הרוח ומוריד הגשם, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורו, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממיר ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל.
You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shmo.
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please take a few moments for silent prayer for the text of your own heart. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom to everybody out there on this very warm evening. Usually I play something slower and more meditative at this point in the service after the silent prayer. But I thought, following on the coattails of a very happy holiday, we just celebrated Simchat Torah, I've chosen a more upbeat number, Ele Hamda Libi. Now this tune, which is Hasidic in origin, really has no connection with the holiday, but it is very happy, as you will hear, and very upbeat and keeping in spirit with the holiday, even though it's over with. The words in Hebrew are quite brief. Ele Hamda Libi, Husana ve'alna tit'alem, which in English translates, "This is my heart's desire, have mercy on me and do not forsake me." Ele Hamda Libi.
Thank you so much. Shabbat Shalom.
There you have it. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So we are back at the beginning. It is Parshat Bereshit. It is the beginning of Genesis as we celebrated Simchat Torah this week and started our cycle over again of reading Torah. And as we begin Torah once again, I think about the sense of what it means for us to undertake another year of Torah reading, another year of learning, another year just of living in this world and trying to live a life of purpose. The Torah is not just a Jewish book, but a document that within its words and within all the commentaries that have written on it through our history can teach some of the deepest and most important lessons about life and humanity. It speaks not just to the Jewish people, although much of it is the Jewish story, but the beginning, of course, what we read this week is not the story of the Jewish people or the origins of the Jewish people, it's the story of creation. Before we are Jews, we must be human. To understand Judaism, we must understand our place in the world. The Talmud tells us, hafochba v'hafochba dukuleba, go over it, or turn it and turn it, because everything is in it. For our ancestors, the Torah is an unending source of knowledge and wisdom. But as I've taught before in other contexts, I have learned to read the Torah as much for its questions as for its answers. The Torah challenges us to ask fundamental questions about what is the purpose of life? What's our place in the world? And the answers may change with the generations, but the most basic questions are here. So rather than being a book perhaps of the great answers or the great truths of the world, I like to think about it, as I've come to understand from my colleague Ed Feinstein, as a book of ultimate questions. And I think if we ask the right questions, then we can be on the right path to finding the answers by which to live each day. A great example of that is this week's portion, Parshat Bereshit. Probably no section of Torah has been the subject of more discussion and comment than the opening chapters of Genesis. They offer us a powerful portrait of the universe and human nature. They present us with a vision of the world emerging from chaos, a sense of the inherent orderliness of God's creation, and actually with two different visions of creation, which I won't really get into today. They offer that we're created in the divine image. And yet these first few chapters, we also find a darker side of humanity, rebellion and violence and sin. We are, in a sense, both dust and divine. So many people, scientists and theologians and historians, have argued about whether the story of creation in chapters 1 and 2 of Genesis are true. But I think the real essence of these chapters and the one that follows is not what they say in any historical way, but what they tried to teach us and the challenges they ask us to make for ourselves. In the opening chapters of Bereshit, of Genesis, there are two important questions that are here, that show up when I read them almost in red ink. They stand out to me. They are Ayeka, where are you? And where is your brother? At first notice, these questions maybe seem unnecessary, but they are fundamental to our humanity and our understanding as a people who strives to live in God's ways. Religion begins, I would say, with these questions. If we're to grow, these are the questions we need to ask ourselves, not just when we read Bereshit, but every day. The first question, Ayeka, where are you? In the story of the Garden of Eden, having consumed the fruit of the tree of knowledge, Adam and Eve hide from God out of fear, or maybe out of embarrassment. As God breezes through the garden, God calls out, where are you? What follows is an admission that they have disobeyed the only rule they were given to live by. But it is a strange question, Ayeka, where are you? More than a few commentators have pointed out that it would seem unnecessary for an omniscient God to ask the first human beings where they are. After all, God's God. God surely knows where Adam and Eve are hiding. And yet the Hasidic master and founder of Chabad Hasidism, Rabbi Shneur Zalman of Ladai, points out that this is not a question of geography, but a question about human nature. When God asks, where are you? God is asking, what have you done with your lives? What has happened since I put you here? And where are you in relationship to me? There's no question more important than this. Each day we wake up, and each day we go to sleep, and we should ask ourselves, where am I? What have I done with my life? Have I chosen to live in relation to God, or am I hiding from God's presence? Tefillah, the Hebrew word for prayer, comes from the verb lehitpalel, to judge oneself. When we pray, we are really asking ourselves, where am I? Better yet, imagine going through the day and believing that God is constantly asking us, Ayeka, 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 where are you? If we believe that the Holy One was paying attention to our every action and that we are constantly in the presence of God, perhaps we would lead our lives a little differently. So we think of the High Holy Days as a season of reflection, and yet the Torah begins with the most basic question of all, right? This, where are you? But that's only one question that we have here in the opening chapter to Bereshit. The other one is, Ahiva achicha, where is Abel, your brother? Having just killed Abel in a fit of anger and jealousy, Cain is confronted by God. Where is your brother? God asks. Once again, the question seems unnecessary. Doesn't God know what just happened? Of course. But the question is more than just a question of location. Where's your brother? Means, what have you done to your closest and most precious relationship? In true Jewish fashion, Cain answers God with a question. I don't know. Am I my brother's keeper? And of course, the answer in a bright flashing neon sign is yes, yes, yes. You are your brother's keeper. We are responsible for one another, and we must learn to live in relation to one another. This is a fundamental truth. The Torah assumes that the answer, that when we hear the question asked, and Cain says, am I my brother's keeper? That we are answering in our heads, yes, you are. God's question goes to the very heart and soul of our place in the world. God asks, where is your brother, your sister? We are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. And the question, like the very first one, is really just about our place in the world. Where is your brother? Where is your sister? Are you your brother's keeper? Challenges us to consider our relationship to the society and the world in which we live. Teaches us we have to care about our neighbor. And so the Torah begins with these two questions which challenge us to consider our relationship to ourselves and to God, and the other which ask us to look into our conscience and consider our relationship to the people around us. And when Torah puts these questions into the mouth of God, it's not simply recording the past, but challenging the present. Again and again, we relive this story, the Garden of Eden, the story of Cain striking his brother. They're not true because they happened. They're true because they are happening all throughout our lives. They are true because they take place in every place and at every time. The rest of the Torah could be said to be an answer to these questions. Where are you and where is your brother and your sister? Right? One question asks us to look up to heaven, and the other challenges us to look around us here on earth, to ask the questions that we most need. As we begin reading the Torah, I hope that we think about those questions, that we read the Torah because they're right at the heart of our way of life. And if we can ask ourselves these questions, then we can begin the journey which takes us throughout the year and gives us a sense of purpose and meaning and connection to the Holy One throughout our lives. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to turn now to Misha Berach. I'm going to share with you as we turn our thoughts to all of those in our lives who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit. And please feel free to hold those names in your heart, in your head, to list them in the chat if you're thinking about people, as well as the names that I'll read from our congregational list.
O Holy One, blessed our mothers, blessed our fathers from ancient days. Bless and heal those in our hearts. Hear our prayer as we say their names. HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yemaleh Rachamim Alechem, Lehaksikam, Urapa'otam, Ve'yishlach lahem, Refuat Shlema, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, B'toch Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts. Hear our prayer as we say their names.
We ask for blessings upon Rebecca Gilman, Hannah Fields Austin, Sue Toback, Paula Steinbach, Rosin Lefkowitz, Ellen Weinfeld, Gabrielle Silton, Pam Poliakoff, Connie Shapiro, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Judith Bosworth, Kathy Brewster, Jennifer Rudin, Susan Grohr, Marion Snyders, Kimberly Zimmerman, Brad Holland, Beatrice Caden, Meg Silton, Serena Postal, Bobby Kay, Marilyn Freeman, Robert Strober, Marilyn Lubarsky, Joe Kummerman, Eric Quatcher, Ellery Einstein, Ken Mitchell, Patricia Kramer, Lavini Feldman, James Cecile, Esther Bespris, Joan Morse, Nomi Kravitz, Craig Sachs, Simon Saul, Blair Pollock, Myra White, David Grossman, Ruth Bornstein, Daniel Brewster, and all that we hold in our hearts.
HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yemaleh Rachamim Alechem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts. Hear our prayer as we say their names.
It is a new month. on our secular calendar, and soon to be a new month on our Jewish calendar as well. And we'd like to wish a happy birthday to all of those who have October birthdays. And we're going to sing a little happy birthday song for all of you.
Yom Huledet Sameach, 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 Yom Huledet Sameach.
We ask the blessing of the Holy One onto you, that you should have a year of goodness and of blessing, of good health, of connection to community, and of spiritual growth, and of love, a year of love for all. And we're going to offer the priestly blessing to you as well at this time.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's presence shine into you and through you to others. May God always be compassionate unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God and all that is good be present for you in your life. May you find wholeness and peace in your heart, in your community, and may we join with others to bring our world closer to wholeness, to peace, to shalom.
Amen.
And as I mentioned, we also have another month coming up, a month on the Jewish calendar, which begins this coming week. So we're going to offer a blessing for the new month.
Yehi ratzon milfanecha Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei avotenu v'imotenu שתחדש עלינו את החודש הבא, לטובה ולברכה. ותיתן לנו חיים ארוכים, חיים של שלום, חיים של פרנסה, חיים שתבואנו אהבת תורה ויראת שמיים, חיים שימלאו משאלות ליבנו לטובה. Amen.
Our God and God of our ancestors, may the new month bring us goodness and blessing. May we have long life, peace, prosperity, a life exalted by love of Torah and reverence for the divine, a life in which the longings of our hearts are fulfilled for good.
Rosh Chodesh Cheshvan Yeh B'Yom Chamishi.
The new month of Cheshvan will begin on Thursday. And Cheshvan, by the way, is a month with no Jewish holidays. So we get a little break from Jewish holidays. And then we'll start moving back into them as we move toward Hanukkah, which is on Thanksgiving weekend this year. So we're moving in that direction. All right.
If you want to know the rest of the story about Cheshvan, you can check out my article in the new Kehillah that most of us just received in our mailboxes.
Great. Thank you, Cantor Paul. I'm going to stop sharing my screen and invite Candy Fisher to share some announcements with you.
Hi, good evening and Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to thank Rabbi Kupitz for his meaningful message this Shabbat. Sincere thank you also goes to Cantor Bush for the always beautiful prayers and music, and of course to Randy Polavoy for his amazing musical interlude. This may be a month without Jewish holidays, but there's no end to the activities and opportunities for learning and involvement at our wonderful temple. I'm going to highlight just a few of those things coming up in the days and the weeks ahead. So tomorrow morning at 9:30, Mikey Ryan will lead Torah study. 1 o'clock, our adult Jewish learning Hebrew beyond Aleph Bet. And at 7:30 tomorrow evening is our weekly Zoom Hafdalah with Rabbi and Cantor. Sunday, please remember that the food drive ends, and please be generous and help support those who are experiencing food insecurity and hunger. At 9 a.m. on Sunday morning will be our Brotherhood meetings, so please watch for that Zoom link. Monday and Wednesday, of course, we are welcoming our Zoom Siyum, which begins at 6:45. Beginning Tuesday, October 12th, Rabbi Kupitz begins a 9-session course on Tuesday evening in Jewish ethics, which looks amazing. Also, please know that our Project Angel baby shower ends on Tuesday the 12th. So to drop off donations and clothing and other supplies is in the temple office. And last, on Wednesday, October 13th, Cantor Paul will begin our 18-week course, Introduction to Judaism. There are many, many other activities and programs for us to learn and to enjoy and to gather together as friends. So please do look in your kahila, which just hit the newsstands, and look for your weekly e-blasts. And you can also go to our website, tbipomona.org. So Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Candy. Thank you so much. Just want to highlight, because Cantor and I are teaching them, I'll just highlight those two pieces that on October 12th, which is a Tuesday night, I'm starting a 9-session course on Jewish ethics. And on October 13th, Cantor Paul begins Introduction to Judaism, wonderful opportunity to engage Judaism as an adult, whether you're new to Judaism or you've grown up Jewish, it's been part of you your whole life, or wherever you are. It's a wonderful opportunity. Reach out to either of us for more information.
And regarding intro, just a couple other things. One is the links to register are in all of our communications. But the first 2 sessions are what we call a taste of Judaism, which if you have any commitment issues or any concern about whether this is for you, we don't ask for any tuition or anything for the first 2 sessions, although you're welcome to commit ahead of time. And the course itself it will be on Zoom initially, just because we're still not in person fully at TBI. But as we transition to in-person learning, it'll be a combo class, so you can participate either as a virtual student or as an in-person student, whatever works. We in the last couple of years, especially this last year, we had a lot of our students coming from outside the local area. And that's been really great to have them participate. So, and if, finances are always something that we can talk about. There is a charge for the 18-week class, but the financial challenges should not stand in the way of your learning. So talk to us.
We will continue with Aleinu L'Shabeach.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. אנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
We take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. We've had a couple of recent deaths this week. One, Bela Pasternak, who was a longtime Temple member, passed away, and there will be an announcement coming out about plans for her. And Ann Hudson, who was a longtime congregant who then moved away to be near her daughter-in-law, also passed away this week. We also remember the recent deaths of Gloria Austin, mother-in-law of Liz Fields, Diana Goldsman, mother of Leela Goldsman, Renee Politi, sister of Laura Zuckerman, James Gustafaro, cousin of David Gustafaro, Scott Drucker, brother of Lori Snyder and Robin Goichenberg, Linda Litwack, wife of David Litwack, Bev Blackwell, sister-in-law of Pam Poliakoff, and Tom Sykes, father of Kylie Sykes. We remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Harry Fox, Irving A. Goldman, Dolores Hill, Esther Katz, Hyman Marks, Annette Beasy, Richard Allen Grossman, Rose Kahalnik, Lillian Katz, Rosa Lesser, Irving Meyerowitz, Herbert Weinberg, Robert Weinreb, Louise Isley, Reva Getty, Martin Goose, May Kaplan Handler, Roy C. Weinstein, Elias Chavin, Edward Hyman, Irving Katz, Farrell Pritikin, Helen Rosenswag, Sydney Arzt, Bill Bean, Samuel Berger, Rose Bernstein, Libby Kramer, Leo Sachs, Mordechai Siegel, Riva Tickton, Abe Drotch, Lillian Earl Rich, Fido Goldsman, Edward Morris, Theodore Ricosi, Jerry Steinloff, Marcus DeLange, Jerry Donan, Israel Gordon, Samuel Gernitz, and Dorothy Victor. You have people that you're remembering in addition to those who have been mentioned, and you want to put any names in the chat, feel free to do so. We join in the words of Kaddish. Yitgadal v'yitgadash Shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
V'yalma divrach hirutei v'yamlich malchutei v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael v'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach l'olam v'lomei almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shmei dukudasha brichu.
Richu.
Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tush b'chata v'nechemata da'amiram bi'alma v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'imromav hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen.
Amen.
Zichronam livracha. May their memories always be for a blessing. We're going to conclude with Biyado and then Kiddush and Motzi.
Biyado av kidduchi ve'ishan ve'ira ve'imruchi geviati Adonai li velo ira, ve'im ruchi geviati. Adonai li velo ira. My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Be'ado of kiduchi, ve'edi shan ve'a'ira, ve'im ruchi geviati. Adonai li velo ira, ve'im ruchi geviati. Adonai li velo ira.
Grab your Kiddush cup, your juice or your wine, if you have one.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon hinchilanu zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh zecher letziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim v'shabbat kodshecha ve'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat Chaim.
Now we have a little challah.
Yes, I know it's still a turban challah, but it's a challah nonetheless. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us, and we'll hope to see you all soon. Lehitraot.
Shabbat shalom. Lihitraot. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7:30.